I just went from struggling to sleep consistently to sleeping close to 8 hours every night as a busy school owner. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I did it and how you can fix your sleep while working hard on your school community. First of all, the importance of sleep, and especially for losing fat, building muscles. Like, why should you even have good sleep? So I remember last year, it was around like May, June, and yeah, I was basically looking like this on the left, and I wanted to lose some fat for the summer, get nice abs, get a six pack so I could walk on the beach with confidence, look good. So I started with like eating less, doing more cardio, and it worked. Like I started losing fat. But then I remember I had a last bit of fat that covered my abs. I didn't have like the perfect six pack I wanted. I still had maybe a few pounds to lose, probably like 1 or 2 pounds. And I just couldn't get that last bit of fat off, and I was like frustrated because I was out running 3 times a week. I was eating less. I was in a calorie deficit. I was eating clean. I was doing all those things right. But then I realized it's my sleep. I'm doing cardio. I'm working out. I'm eating good, but I'm not sleeping. Like I was sleeping like some days like 5 hours, some days 6 hours, some days like seven. And but but I was not sleeping enough, and it was very inconsistent. So I was like, yeah, this is it. I need to fix my sleep. That's the only thing I'm not doing right. So I did it. I started sleeping like 7.5 hours, 8 hours consistently. And just 1 week after, I lost the last bit of fat. And I realized, damn, like sleep is so powerful. That was the thing I was missing. Just fixing my sleep helped me lose fat faster. And that's because sleep speeds up your metabolism, so you will basically like burn more fat and lose more fat easier. It improves your decision making. So another very underrated thing with sleep is you make better decisions like, okay, I will go to the gym today. Okay, I will eat this chicken instead of this donut. You make better decisions. Your brain is sharper, which is very crucial for your diet, sticking to a good diet. And then it also gives you energy for exercise. You will have good energy, you will want to hit the gym, you will want to go out for walks. But if you're just tired and your sleep sucks, you won't want to do that. And it's also massive for productivity, helping you work on your business, growing your school community. Even the school CEO, Sam Ovens, you probably know who he is. He's the CEO of Skool. He values sleep a lot. If you go to his YouTube channel and see his old videos, he talks about sleep a lot and how powerful it is for succeeding in business because it just makes you focus better, be able to work more and work better and make better decisions, all those things. So sleep is so powerful for fat loss and so high leverage. Like just sleep and you will lose more fat. Like it's no effort once you like have fixed it. So I'll go over sleep like a baby system. But before, I just want to show you real quick my free community. So I have this free community helping school owners build muscles, lose fat. And if you want to join, click the link in the description. For example, I have Phil here. He just, yeah, build some really good muscles in just 1 month. And you'll also find a diet and workout plan in the classroom. So check that out. But back to the video. And let's go over the sleep like a baby system. This is my full system I created now to go to help you go from not being consistent with your sleep, not sleeping enough, not having good quality of sleep, to then sleep like a baby, have high quality sleep and sleep enough. So, step one. choose your times. A very big thing with sleep is just sleeping enough. Sleeping like 7 to 8 hours every day. That's like the optimal range of sleep. And to get that, you need to like make some calculations. I think like, okay, when will I go to bed and when will I wake up in order to get my 8 hours? For me personally, it's between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. That's the one. Just knowing like, okay, what hours, when should I go to bed? When should I wake up? And this is an important thing. Waking up at the same time and going to bed at the same time every day is so important and it's so powerful. Like that's one of the most like foundational things about fixing your sleep. Just going to bed at the same time every day and waking up at the same time because your body gets used to it. So, for example, me, it's like 11 p.m. I've been going to bed at 11 p.m. for a few weeks now, and I just get tired at that time now. And then at 7 a.m., I have good energy. Like my body gets used to it. But if you go to bed one day it's 11 p.m., but then the next day like 1 a.m., then you wake up at 7 a.m., but then like 10:30, and you like fluctuates and your sleep is not consistent. I have done that before, and it just messes you up. You get tired at random times. You get like energetic at random times, and it just messes up with your like with your body. When you have energy, when you get tired, it's not good. So that's the first thing. Sleep at the same times and wake up at the same time every day. And when you choose those times, like think, what can I be consistent with? For example, me, before I wanted to wake up really like early, like 5:30, and go to bed like when was it? 9:30 or like 10 p.m. But the thing was, on weekends, that was not that realistic for me. So now, and also another thing, I recently joined like a business program, and they had live calls later during the day, like 8 p.m., 11 p.m. So then I couldn't go to bed that early anymore. So I changed. So now I go to bed at like 11 p.m. and then I wake up at 7 a.m. Those are times I know I can stick to them every day. Except one day where I stay up like 30 minutes extra to be on that a live call with the business program. I mean, so that's one day a week, and yeah, like I'm okay with that. And I usually wake up maybe like 20 minutes later the day after that, but it's not a huge difference. So almost all the time, like 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. That's my sleep times. So that's step one. Write down, write down what time you're gonna go to bed and what time you're gonna wake up. That's the first thing, and make sure it's 8 hours in between. That's the best amount to sleep. And then step two is prepare for sleep. So getting good sleep is mostly about preparing and making sure like you are in the right state, that your body is getting calmer, that you're doing the right things before. So some of the things I do is I make sure to don't eat like 2 hours before, because when you eat it messes up with the sleep quality and your body is like working on digesting all the food while you sleep, and that's not really good. So 2 hours before I cut out everything I eat, and then I don't have any screens at least 30 minutes before sleeping. I used to do like 1 hour before, and that was really good. But now it's just like I work on my business a lot. I work on my school community, so me taking away like last 1 hour of the day to do some different stuff without like, being able to work on my business. I'm not doing that right now. I'm doing 30 minutes, and I still see benefits from that. So no screen before, no eating. That's how I prepare. And then some other thing is I have a night routine which I do for those like last 30 minutes, which helps me fall asleep. And just having that routine, uh, because now when I have followed the routine for a long time, I think it just tells my body like, okay, he's about to go to bed. Let's make let's make him tired, and it also prepares me nice because step one is what I do is I set my alarm for the next day at 7 a.m. to make sure like I wake up at the right time, and then I go brush my teeth. After that, I plan my next day. This is powerful for like productivity business, but I basically write down what I'm gonna do for the whole next day from start to finish, what I'm gonna work on, like record a video, engage in my Skool community, send some DMs, all those things I'm working on, take a few calls. I do that, and then after that, I stretch. So I stretch for 5 minutes. This is important, like for us that sits a lot and work. I stretch my hips, I stretch my back, getting some nice like stretching in to loosen up the body so I feel good then when I want to sleep. And then after that, I used to, go into my bed and I start reading until like I'm feeling really tired and just want to sleep. So like most of the time it's like maybe 2 to 5 minutes. Now like uh, I can fall asleep really fast, but I used to take a book, I read it. Then when I can't really focus anymore on what I'm reading, and I'm just so tired, then I stop reading and I sleep. And that works very good for me to fall asleep very fast. That's like how I prepare my night routine. And then environment, that's step three. So when you have your times, sleeping a good amount of time, you're starting to prepare. Then you also want to like prepare your environment. So what I do when I'm gonna sleep, I have it like really dark, so I have the windows covered. I don't have any lights on, of course, because when it's dark, it's just better for the quality and easier to fall asleep. And then I also make sure my room is cold. So now when it's starting, winter is over, and I can, and it's not like ice cold outside. I open my window for the last like 20 to 30 minutes of the day to just get some fresh air, make sure my room is getting colder. Because one thing that is very bad that can uh, prevent people from sleeping is just too warm. Like your room is too warm and you just like sweating, and that we have all been there, and it just sucks. So I used to make sure my room is cold, and it's better to it to be too cold than too warm. So I always make sure to like make it cold, even though I think it doesn't really it's not really needed. And then at the summers, I can even sleep with my window open for the whole night. So that's environment, dark and cold, and then falling asleep. So after you have your environment and you're actually in the bed and you're trying to fall asleep, I know for me as a busy school owner, something that stopped me from sleeping was I was thinking about business. I was thinking about school and all these things, clients, and it got hard like to fall asleep. And I was also like a bit, how do you say, fired up. Like I was, because I had just been working my business like 30 minutes, 40 minutes before that. And I was just thinking all those things, and I had like a lot of energy. So it got hard to fall asleep. And sometimes I maybe was uncomfortable and I couldn't fall asleep. So that was really bad. It made me stay up longer and struggle with falling asleep. And now I can fall asleep very easy. And one big thing is that night routine I have. But personally, it works really good for me because first of all, I plan the next day. So I don't need to think like, okay, what should I do tomorrow? I have that planned down. Literally here, I have my little notebook where I plan my days in, and I write it down. It takes like 3 minutes to do. So that lets me take off some stress and don't really need to think about what I should do tomorrow. And then I stretch, which is also very powerful because it's good for the back, the legs, and then when I'm in bed, I'm feeling good. One thing that messed up my sleep before was like my back was hurting and stuff after sitting long hours, working. Like it was uncomfortable. I couldn't really fall asleep because of that. But now I always make sure to stretch properly before, and that helps me like feel good when I'm in bed and I can fall asleep easier. Then reading, that's the last thing. And I usually read something light. Lately, it has been the Bible. So I used to read a few like sentences, like half a page, most of the time, maybe one page, that until I fall asleep. And with the reading, it's just so good because you take away your thoughts, you just look at the words, you read it. And also for some reason, I'm not exactly sure why, but you just get tired. We all have been there. Maybe as a child, our parents were like reading to us, and we were always like started sleeping when they were doing that. So it's super powerful for like falling asleep, taking the stress off, going to bed, and then yeah, you and with the reading, you don't want some advanced like business book. I know you probably have like hormosis, like $100 million offers, $100 million leads in those books you want to learn. Doing that right before bed is not the best time because you just get these new ideas you want to implement, you want to take notes, you start thinking, okay, how can I implement this to my business? That's not what you want when you're gonna sleep. Reading those kind of books, business, self improvement, is great during the day, middle of the day. Whenever I want to learn something from a book, I read it in the middle of the day, not when I'm gonna go to bed. When I'm gonna go to bed, it's something easy. It can be like a random fiction book, maybe like Harry Potter, not something that's advanced, which teaches you business stuff, self improvement, or whatever. Something easy, like like a child book, or whatever. For me, the Bible it works well, and it's also like good. I learn stuff while it's like pretty easy to read stories and proverbs and stuff like that. So that's for falling asleep. And also another good thing if you're like stressed. I know a lot of school owners are stressed. Is taking a walk. I had this client I was working with, and he couldn't like fall asleep, and I told him like, yeah, start taking a walk before going to bed to like let your stress go, breathe some air, and it helped him. He said his sleep got improved and it was easier for him. And then when you have done those things, choose your times, you're preparing for sleep, you're having a good environment, you're having your little night routine, and you can fall asleep, then quality of sleep is also important. Making sure the hours you sleep make you rested actually plays a part in like or high quality. So a few things for high quality sleep is first of all like trying to avoid screens 30 to 60 minutes at least before, not eating 2 hours before. What more? What else? Well, sunlight is also very good. Getting sunlight in the morning and then getting sunlight later during the day, it helps with quality of sleep. It just tells the body like what time of the day it is, and it make you improve the quality. And let me see if there anything else with the quality of sleep. Sleep position also like sleeping on the side, like that's the best. Not try to avoid sleeping on like the stomach because you're like in a pretty weird position on the side. maybe on the back. Those two like are some of the best. But I learned that on the side is actually better because it's easier for your nose to like breathe in that way instead of on the back. So that's something I'm also working on. But as for the quality, you can do small things like that to improve it. The most, the best things is just like avoid screens, avoid eating before getting sunlight. So this is my full sleep like a baby system. If you do all these 5 steps, they are very easy. You can implement them today. Your sleep will get improved. But then some like overall tips and what will happen when you fix your sleep. Sunlight, really good. Try to get like 30 minutes a day at least. Helps a lot. No eating before, like I said, not 2 hours before sleeping. No screens 30 minutes or more before. That's a big one. Sometimes you maybe realize like you maybe notice that you sleep 8 hours but you wake up tired. I have been there. And every time it has happened for me, almost every time it was because I was looking at a screen before. I was on my phone, then I only had like 10 minutes without it before sleeping. So that will help a lot. Dark and cold room, alarm when to sleep. So if you now will choose your times, then one thing that Alex Hermosi talked about is setting an alarm like 30 minutes before you're gonna sleep. So you stop with whatever you're doing, if it's working on your business, your school community, or you're just on your phone doing something, you're watching a video, whatever. You stop with that and you start with your night routine. You start getting prepared. This has every time I have done it, it has helped me. Alarm, when to sleep, and then also like and then also like when you're gonna wake up helps too. I have yeah when I'm gonna wake up, and then if I'm struggling to go to bed on time, I'll start having an alarm 30 minutes before my time. And then night routine, super powerful. A lot of people talk about like morning routine, but night routine is also super powerful to help you fall asleep. Then slowly adjust your sleep timing. If your sleep timing is just off, you're inconsistent or you're staying up very late, waking up late, whatever. Adjust it slowly. Don't change like with a couple of hours right away. That's hard for the body. Like take your time. It can take like 1 2 weeks to get to your like goal with the times, with your sleep timing. And then read to fall asleep easier, like I said, super powerful. And the results of fixing your sleep will be you lose fat easier without needing to do extra cardio or eating less calories. And like those things helps, but just fixing your sleep will help you lose fat easier. You and also doing the exercise, improving your diet, eating right will become easier. So that's the first result. Massive for losing fat, building muscles. Also productivity. You will just work better on your business, have more energy, focus better, be sharper. And one thing I noticed is there is this like dilemma. Should you stay up later to work more, or should you go to bed and get a good night of sleep? For example, let's say should you work maybe should you work 16-hour days and sleep 6 hours, or should you work 14-hour days and sleep 8 hours? I've tried both. Not working that much, but I have like tried working like I think 14 hours and only sleeping like 5 6 hours, and I've done like 10 to 12-hour days, sleeping 8 hours. And I can say sleeping 8 hours and working a few hours less is the best option because when you sacrifice your sleep, the quality of your work, when you wake up, try to focus, it will just be at a much worse level. That was the thing that happened to me. Now I'm okay with working less to sleep more because the hours I work they are much better and I can get much more done. Just imagine if you felt amazing and you had like 1 hour, you could produce like so much in just 1 hour. You can record 3 10-minute videos You can send like 100 messages. You can do a lot in 1 hour if you really looked in. So that's the results of fixing your sleep. Your business will be better, your health will be better, you will lose more fat, build more muscles. So powerful. And now I currently have 3 spots open to work with me one on one to lose 20 pounds. So if you're curious, there is a link to apply in the description. First come, first serve. Here's a few clients I've helped. Michael lost 20 pounds, Furkan 24 pounds. Helped this guy gain 14 pounds, this guy gain 3 pounds of muscles. So I can help you, yeah. I will help you gain muscles too, of course. But conclusion, sleep is super powerful for losing fat and building muscles. Follow the sleep like a baby system. It's powerful, it works. And feel the benefits. Peace out. Fix your sleep. That's the hack. And watch this video right here.